Good evening, folks. Welcome into the draft of the first annual Roughs Shootout. Bob Long and Kevin Long here, the two captains of this year's team. Kevin, we're going to be picking teams of 10. You representing Roughs Blue. I'm going to be representing Roughs Orange, bragging rights on the line, and of course, just so much fun to get together for match play as a team. Kev, your first thoughts on this new endeavor this year?
Yeah, Bob. Well, really excited about it. Excited to be here for the show, and excited to get the tournament on. We've done Roughs for a very long time in our backyard. It's always been a highly competitive but highly individualized event, and really excited to see some of the guys come together, play together as a team. I think it'll be a really exciting event for the guys, a different format than our usual tournament, and I think it's going to be a fun day that everyone's going to enjoy.
Let's get right to it here. We have 20 guys, 18 excluding us, that we're going to be picking. Rather than introduce everybody else, let's start with the draft, and we'll introduce everybody individually as we do so. So we did a coin toss before. I won the coin toss, so I will pick first, and I am going to pick former Commonwealth Club champion, although once you do it, it's an eternity, and one of the all-time greats at the University of Delaware, 8-time Roughs Annual Golf Classic champion, Kyle Martin, first selected for Roughs Orange.
It's an excellent choice there, Bob. Cannot disagree with that first choice. A highly decorated player here in Roughs. So with that, I'll take the next two selections here. And my first pick, one I'm really excited about, is Michael Kenya. He is a former Kentucky and Villanova golf player. Played at two different schools at the Division I level, and won Big East Player of the Year while at Villanova. So two really, really great golfers going up against each other. Michael has been a member over at Overbrook Golf Club for a long time. His family has done some great things over there. So really excited to see these two teeing it up together. With my next pick, I'm going to go with another newcomer to Roughs, and that is Noah Petrassi. He is a young senior in high school. They just accepted an offer to play Division III golf in college. He's a real up-and-comer, really excited to see what he's going to bring to our team here. So he is my second selection in the draft.
All right. Well, those are two great picks there. I had those guys both high on my board. Had to recognize they weren't going to get to me, though. But nonetheless, I am going to pick a former Division III golfer, Andrew McGinnis, longtime friend of ours at Roughs. We do know that he's going to get to the end of the weekend here at the Roughs Shootout, and he is, again, one of the most highly decorated Roughs guys that we have. So excited to have him on the team. And I am going to bring on, this is a newcomer as well, Colin Baker. Colin Baker played varsity soccer at St. Joseph's University. He's a lefty, a legend. He is picking up golf and is a really good player. I'm excited to get him out there on the course. Competitive guy naturally, just the type of guy you want on your team. Colin Baker, my third pick.
A nice selection there. And congratulations to Andrew on his recent wedding.
Yeah, you know what? Just like John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, right? When these guys get married or have kids, he gains more perspective, and I feel like his perspective is going to be the difference this year.
Absolutely. Well, it was a fantastic selection. With my next pick here, I'm going to go with Tim Anderson. I know he has been, probably one of the best all-around, most talented guys at our tournament, but has never quite found his way at Roughs. But I believe in him, and I really think that he's going to come through on the course here. I think he'll bring a couple more clubs with him one time. Hopefully he'll bring more than just the one this year. And I'm looking forward to a great effort from him. So Tim Anderson with the next pick.
Great pick, man. That's my guy. That's my partner there. Here's my next pick, so you snagged him from me.
For my next pick, I'm going to go with Roughs newcomer. Not the first time he's been invited, but this will be the first time he is attending. Dave Young. Very excited about having him. Moved back to Philadelphia area from DC last year. I've been playing a lot of golf with him over the fall. And again, here in the spring, he's looking like he's in tip-top shape. So really excited to add him to the squad.
Good picks there. All right. We're going to break this one down. Kind of two for your money, Kev. I got two picks here in the snake draft. These two guys duked it out in a recent Roughs Annual Golf Classic tournament flight championship. It ended up just being pretty much match play down to the end. Jack McGee and Dan Gallagher. Excited to bring these two guys onto the team. They are studs and two horses that I'm ready to hitch the wagon to.
Those are good picks right there. And I'm going to follow that up with the next guy in that lineage who has been an all-time tournament competitor, big foe of Dan Gallagher, Mike Kraus. He's the perfect guy to fit right in there in that situation. I think that he's well suited to join this team here. Very excited about the addition. Mike Kraus been playing well, looking for the opportunity to join a club. Unfortunately, he was not able to join manufacturers recently, but I bet he has some irons in the fire, and he gets out there a lot in the spring. So Mike Kraus is the next pick for Team Kevin, if you will.
By the way, he might have some driving irons in the fire. I don't know if that's the reference you're going for, but that guy absolutely nukes his driving iron. It's a real asset.
Yes, he does. He has a mean 2-iron, that's for sure. Next pick is going to be a guy that has been around Roughs for a long time. A guy that we are both very familiar with. We do our weekly Villanova basketball shows with him, and that's Tom Trainer. He's a guy, he's been working at his game for a long, long time. I know you had your eyes on him, and I just like that character that he brings to this team. He's a track coach and a teacher, and I like what Tom brings to the table. So I'm going to snag him and add him to the squad.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. I had my eyes on him. Geez, my next pick again. But yeah, Tom, that's going to be a challenge for us, seeing him on the other side. Don't like losing out on that one. But with that said, though, I'm going to take another guy who's a great athlete and just is around sports very much like Tom. Brian Peterson, membership director at Talamore Country Club. Good friend of ours. Is going to be his first appearance at any Roughs sanctioned event. Cool story on him. He was a longtime minor league umpire and now umpires high-level college baseball. So if you talk about high-pressure, tense moments and needing to perform under that pressure, I like this guy, Brian Peterson. He's going to be a big-time player on the team. And the next guy that I'm going to pick is another Roughs newcomer. That's Chris Krepich. Hails from the District of Columbia. Got to play with him last fall, and excited about where Chris is going with his game. I know he's working on a lot of things, and spent the winter cranking. Hopefully, what do you say, Chris? Let's bring it on May 22nd.
I'm intrigued to see what those guys bring to the table. Haven't met either of them, but looking forward to it, and I'm sure there'll be some great matchups here. The next guy I'm going to pick for my squad is my former roommate and former Lehigh closer, Kevin Boswick. He has worked extremely hard at his game. I believe he's the only southpaw on my team, maybe in the entire thing. I'm not sure. But he's come along nicely. He's got a very good short game at this point, putting it together with the driver and the long irons. He's starting to improve every year. So I'm going to add him to my team. The next guy is going to be a newcomer, another Lehigh baseball player, and that's Connor Donovan. He was a two-way guy for us at Lehigh. He, batted in the middle of the order, played first base, and was also a starting pitcher. He's developed his golf game since graduating. Hadn't really played a whole lot before, focused on his baseball swing, but has since gotten into golf and has gotten his scores down quite a bit. He's been flirting with mid-90s at times, and he continues to get better and better. So I'm expecting a big showing from Condon in this one.
Tough to follow that. Well, I'm going to need to answer with some horses here, with the way you're telling me that Condon is playing. So I'm going to go to trustee Kevin McClernand, K-Mac, as the folks know him through the Villanova Basketball Report and beyond. K-Mac joins the team, working hard on his game, puts it down the middle of the fairway, doesn't get himself in trouble, and looking forward to having K-Mac back on the team. And then a guy who will get himself in trouble sometimes, but can do a big bop job on the golf course, Tyler Curran, who can crush the ball, never draws it. That's what I'm hearing, by the way. That's the bit we're going for. I've never seen him draw the ball, not one time. Number 9 at Street Road, at Five Ponds. Street Road is completely safe. You don't need to worry about that whatsoever. Tyler Curran, my last pick. Welcome to the team, Tyler.
Nobody will have their eyes on that shot, that tee shot at 9 with cars flying by on Street Road. He never goes left.
Never left.
Well, I am going to counter that with a big hitter of my own, and that is Brandon Culp, another Lehigh baseball player. Kid has a ton of power, a lot of raw ability, needs to hone in the short game a little bit, but he can certainly hit the long ball. I've seen him hit a few drives, 300 plus. Just needs to hone that in and make that thing more consistent. So I think we're going to see a wild and crazy ride with those two at the end, but it should be a good matchup.
All right, so this is the Roughs Shootout. The teams are picked, 10 teams apiece, or 10 players apiece, I should say. And we're heading to Five Ponds Golf Club on May the 22nd. It's going to be a 36-hole marathon. The first 9 in the morning, it's going to be a team match, 4-ball. So better ball, essentially. Kev, you and your partner will play. Whoever scores the better score on that hole, that counts for your team. Same for myself and my partner. On the back 9, we're going to flip to a new format. And in most cases, it's going to be Chapman, which is a modified version of alternate shot, where you tee off and then your partner tees off. Then you hit your partner's ball. Your partner hits your tee ball with the second shot. And at the conclusion of those 2 shots, you're going to make a decision. Which ball do we want to play? You pick one and you play that ball, alternate shot into the hole, 1 score per team. And you play match play for that back 9. We're going to play front 9, back 9, both for a point. And then we are going to combine that 18-hole match, even with the 2 formats, and get an 18-hole match play conclusion. 3 points, 5 matches in the morning for a total of 15 points available in that morning session. In the afternoon, it'll be singles, front, back, and total. 3 points per match, 10 matches on the course, for a total of 30 points available in the afternoon. 45 points total, a race to 23 points to earn the first annual Roughs Shootout title. So let's get to it. You need to think about those 2 formats, Kev, when you're putting your teams out there. So who are you going to send out first?
First, I'm going to go with my 2 strongest horses. In our first matchup, I'm going to go with Michael Kenya and Noah Petrassi.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to match then. Kyle Martin, Andrew McGinnis, 2 guys that knew each other and do know each other now and have for a long time. Started in baseball, chose their better sport. Both of them standout golfers. They're my first squad out. I guess I'll go with my second, though, won't I here? I'm going to pair myself with Colin Baker. And you'd mentioned before, is Boz the only lefty? No, Colin Baker, the lefty. So I'm excited to go out and play with Colin. I think we're going to thrive in the team format. Hit it about the same distance. Colin might have me by a couple of yards, but for Chapman purposes, I think we line up very well.
All right. Well, if you're going to throw yourself out there, I'm going to throw myself out there as well. See if we can get a little brotherly rivalry head-to-head here in the team matchup style. And I'm going to pair Dave Young with me. It's been a guy that I think our games complement each other very well. We're at a very similar playing level. It's always a tough battle between us when we're going up against each other. So really excited to have him join my team. Just a really sound player. And, I think this one will be a good match. We'll be fighting all the way.
Can't wait.
All right. And my next squad I'm going to throw out Tim Anderson and Mike Kraus, two guys that have known each other a long time through Roughs. Maybe haven't necessarily played with each other a whole lot. They've been in different flights most of the time, but two guys that are very familiar with each other. Mike hits the long ball very well. Tim is very sound all around, as is Mike. His short game has developed nicely over the past 2 years. So I think that this will be a good pairing as our number 3 matchup.
Wow, that is a good pairing. There's no doubt about that. I am going to flip Jack McGee and Dan Gallagher together. Again, guys that have played basically match play against each other. Now they're teammates. And Dan going up against Mike is truly the way the universe should be constructed. And Dan Gallagher, Mike Kraus going against each other in a team match. Yeah, that'll be fun. So Jack McGee, Dan Gallagher in that group. And then my next group, let's go Kevin McClernand and Tyler Kern. Two guys that, Tyler Kern, like I said, can hit the long ball. Kevin McClernand, a little shorter off the tee, but you know where he's going to put it. I like that yin and yang together. I think that's going to be a great pairing.
Yeah, those two can certainly complement each other really well. That was a good pick there. My next selection, I'm going to go with Connor Donovan and Brandon Colt to pair with Kevin and Tyler. So two guys that know each other well, spent 3 years together at Lehigh, very familiar with each other, have a lot of chemistry. I think that'll take those guys a long way. They'll be able to battle through some adversity together, and I think they'll hang in there in this matchup. And finally, for my last match, I am going to send out Tom Trainer and Kevin Boswick, two guys who play a very different style, go about their business in a very different way, but I think these two will complement each other well. Again, both of these guys have been working really hard at their games over the past couple of years, and they've both come a long way, and excited to see what these guys bring to the table for this event this year.
All right, two newcomers for me, Brian Peterson and Chris Krepich go out in my final team match. Let's go get them, boys. Roughs Orange. We are excited to go. So at the end of this point, Kev, it'll be somewhere around 1:30, and we'll have a decent sense for how these teams are lined up. Looking down for me at this point, looks like two very balanced teams, and I think it'll be fun. But no matter what happens in the first part of the day, it is going to be session 2 that will decide the shootout. And so let's put together our singles matchups and pairings heading out in the afternoon. Why don't you start?
All right. So do you want me to start with one guy or two guys I'm going to send out? We go one at a time, or announce pairing? Two guys. All right. In my first pairing, I am going to put Michael Kenya and Mike Kraus together. I really like putting these guys together. I think that Mike Kraus will really enjoy playing with Michael Kenya. I think those guys will have a good time together out there. We'll be able to keep each other up during the event, and I'm going to send those two out in my first pairing.
Well, we've sent Dan Gallagher out early, in different Roughs Annual Golf Classic events, and he seems to play well in the morning. So you feel that that's where he makes his move. So I like that in the team format as well. I'm going to link up Dan Gallagher to play against Mike Kraus, and this is the matchup that everybody has been looking forward to. Dan Gallagher, Mike Kraus, they've been doing it at Roughs for a long time. Now they get to do it in a singles match. Wow, that's going to be fun. And then against Michael Kenya, nobody else for me to put out there but Kyle Martin, another guy. I think a year ago at the Roughs Annual Golf Classic, I was sort of hanging in there, Kev, in second place, standing on the first tee on a Sunday morning with 2 rounds to go. Kyle hops one into the hole, and that was the beginning of 2 straight rounds that day where he broke the course record. So I like sending him out as the first part of that session too. So yeah, Kyle against Michael Pena, Dan Gallagher against Mike Kraus. My
Both going to
second
be
group.
matchups for the ages there, right? You got one of the most storied rivalries in Roughs history, and then two of the best golfers to ever, put on the orange and blue, if you will. So those two matchups will be really, really good. Very excited for those. Must see TV.
It only gets better from there too, because we've got two long hitters coming up in the second group for us: Andrew McGinnis and Tyler Kern. So Andrew McGinnis, again, probably the second golfer on our team from a playing ability standpoint, and Tyler, a guy who knows Five Ponds very well, just like Andrew does. Actually, two guys that live right around Five Ponds, play a lot of golf there. So I like those two to feed off each other in group number 2.
All right. Well, for Andrew McGinnis, I'm going to throw out there Noah Petrassi. I think that's a really good matchup for Andrew. Those guys are pretty tight in terms of playing level. I think they'll both have a good match there. I think it'll be tight. And then I am going to send out Brandon Culp with him. Brandon Culp is actually Noah's uncle. He married his now wife is Noah's aunt and married into it. He's now Noah's uncle. So I like the camaraderie there. I like the continuity of putting those two guys together.
Wow. Tell you what, I don't know if anything can compete with that. That's that familial tie there. Brandon Culp's going to be barking him around the course, tell him what to do. I don't know if I'd listen to him, quite frankly, as it pertains to golf, but I love Brandon.
That's true. This could be a huge mistake. Maybe I've been looking at this all wrong.
I tell you, it goes right to left.
Yes. So for my next matchup, I am going to throw myself out there, and I'm going to put myself with Kevin Boswick. Been my longtime roommate, and never really had too much of a chance to play with him at Roughs, and really looking forward to the opportunity to play alongside him, even though not in the team format, just playing some competitive golf together on the same team. I was the starter, he was the closer. We lived together for 4 years. We started a business that was not very successful together. So we've done it all besides competitive golf. So really excited for this opportunity.
Man, I tell you, you are shooting for the stars, but the floor is put pretty low. I mean, yeah, I don't know about the business and what's going to happen on the golf course if you guys paired up. But I'm sure that if you have any issues and you're leaking oil on the back nine, he's going to come in and clean it up, no problem, right?
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, so I'm going to put Jack McGee up against you. We're going to put a college athlete against college athlete. Ran track and field at St. Joe's. Jack, and again, playing very good golf. I had the opportunity to play golf with him a little bit earlier this year. Excited for where he was as of early April, and expect that we're going to be continuing to fine tune some of that as he heads into his singles match. That's going to be a good one there, Kev. And then Chris Krepich will take on Kevin Boswick. These guys haven't met each other, but I think they're good opponents at this point, and looking forward to that match. So I guess back to me, right? Fourth group out.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Baker and K-Mac. Going to send out those two guys together. And excited. Listen, not much to say about either of these guys. Great competitors. Supreme confidence heading down, sending them out to the tee.
Mm-hmm. The good choices there. I'm going to, in response, stick with my theory of keeping guys together that know each other well. I'm going to send out Dave Young to face Colin, and Condon to face Kevin McClernand. These two guys were together, also played 4 years of Lehigh baseball together. Very close with both of these guys. Continue to play in our fantasy football league together. Continue to play golf on a regular basis. These guys are as tight as tight gets. So hoping that all that we've been through at Lehigh, gets these guys through this matchup. They're able to pick each other up when they need it, and really excited to see what this pair can do together. Back to me. That's right. That's how we're doing this format. My final matchup, we are going to go with Tim Anderson and Tom Trainer. Again, both two guys that have been in the Roughs system for a long time. I trust those guys at the back end. I expect that this is going to be a tight match coming down to the end. And when I say that, I mean the entire thing. And I think it could all come down to these last two singles guys. So I wanted to have two staples of Roughs who know what they're doing and feel comfortable in the spotlight. So I'm going to go with Tim Anderson and Tom Trainer.
So this could be it here. Like you said, the last group out on the golf course. As day turns tonight in Warminster, we may be finishing in headlamps, but we're excited to have these last two guys. What that means is that I'm going to send myself out there to play against Tim Anderson. Known Tim, as you know, for a long time. You snatched him from me before I could pick him, unfortunately. So I kind of get what I deserve. Now I have to face Tim in a singles match. That's no fun for anybody. Tim's an absolute rock star out there. So that's going to be tough. And then Brian Peterson, I'm going to send him out against Tom. And I agree with you, Kev. I mean, you got two competitors out there. I think Brian Peterson's going to match up so well with Tom, and very well could be, if it's still in doubt, that could be the last match out on the golf course. So there you go. 10 singles matches in the afternoon, 30 points up for grabs in that session too. Front 9, back 9 winners, and then all 18. So it's going to keep everybody in these matches longer. Somebody can crap the bed on the front 9, truly, right? And still have an opportunity to salvage at least a point on the back 9. So it's a great format. We're going to be having it done through Golf Genius. We'll provide a code for everybody to be able to follow the action through Golf Genius on Saturday, May 22nd, a morning session, an afternoon session. And we'll be seeing who has the bragging rights. Roughs Orange, me, or Roughs Blue, Kevin. Kev, thanks for the time. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. We'll see everybody leading up to May 22nd.